Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name's Amanda. So I'm really excited to be showing y'all this chocolate depression cake with a homemade peanut butter frosting today. This is a super simple recipe. It'd be great for the 4th of July for dessert. If y'all are excited to see this recipe, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and we'll go ahead and get started. And we're going to go ahead and work on our dry ingredients in a bowl first. I've got some flour, some sugar, cocoa powder, and some baking soda that I'm going to place in here. And we're just going to mix that well. Now the recipe actually calls for salt too, but I left that out and I didn't notice any difference. None of my family noticed any difference, so we were good with that. Baking soda actually has a pretty decent level of sodium in it, so I think that kind of helps. But again, feel free to add that if that's what you'd like. And we're just going to mix that really well and get ready to mix up our wet ingredients and get that ready to add to our dry ingredients. Y'all, this cake is so easy. I can't even really get over how easy it was. My daughter had been wanting to make it for a while, and we just never had, and so she actually made it one day and we liked it so much I thought, well, I'll make it and record it for y'all and share it with y'all too. So in that bowl I've just got some water and some vinegar and some vanilla going in, as well as a little bit of oil. And the neat thing about this cake is there's no eggs, there's no butter, there's no milk. So a really good option for people who have allergies or just want to avoid certain ingredients. You're just going to mix that a little bit, and then we're going to incorporate that into our other bowl with our dry ingredients. So this comes together super fast, and we were really impressed with how good it tastes too, especially with that peanut butter frosting. I love a good fluffy peanut butter frosting. It's so yummy. So we're just going to get that mixed well together. Make sure you grease your pan. If you want to pull it out, I would recommend using parchment paper too. That would be good. You could also make these into muffins, like cupcake type things if you wanted to. You could do all kinds of different things. And you could double this and make a 9 by 13 baking pan of it if you would like, if you wanted a larger amount, especially if you want to take it to a get together or something like that. So definitely it's very versatile. Once we get that in here, I just kind of shift it a little bit to make sure it gets in all the edges. And that's going to bake in a 350-degree oven for about 30 minutes. And while that's baking, we'll get started on our peanut butter frosting. So we've just got some powdered sugar, some softened butter, some peanut butter, and I've also got some milk there. Now, we made a half a batch of the icing for this, so I'm going to have these recipes linked below in the description. But as far as the icing goes, if you make the full batch, it'd probably be a little too much for you, but it's fun to eat it by the spoonful too, so I don't blame you if you want to make the whole batch. Although if you are doubling the cake recipe, then you definitely want to make the full frosting recipe. That way they don't frost the whole cake. But you're just going to blend this really well. You can almost see it kind of change color and get lighter. This is really creamy. I did see some reviews say that they had trouble with it being creamy. I did it a little different than the instructions. I just threw all the ingredients in the bowl. It says to do it in stages. That worked for me, but you may want to see, how you'd like to do it. But the frosting turns out great every time we make it. So we were really glad that we found that recipe because I love peanut butter frosting. Now the texture of this cake is great. I love the edges of brownies, cakes, like that. So that's my favorite piece. And we went ahead and spread it on individual pieces because everybody didn't want peanut butter frosting. And so I didn't want to frost the whole cake, but I really do highly recommend that frosting recipe. And I think that the recipe for the depression cake also has a chocolate frosting recipe with it too. So if you wanted to make a chocolate version, you could do that. But I love chocolate and peanut butter together. So, that was what we chose to do. So have y'all ever made depression cake? I think there may be a vanilla one too or something. I'm going to have to look and see. But this was so simple that I'm definitely going to kind of explore any other options there might be. But if you know of any, let me know in the comments below. But we really enjoyed this. I hope that y'all will make it and try it too. Let me know if you do. I'd love to hear about it. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, I'd love it if you'd give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, I'd love it if you'd go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more delicious recipes. I hope you have a blessed day wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next one.